Welcome to the Minded Basketball Podcast, also known as the M.O.B podcast. I am Evan.
No, I'm Ja.
And this is our basketball podcast where we recap, break down, and analyze players and teams for the previous games from the previous day. How are you today, Black Michael J. Fox?
You see the shades on, man. Chilling like always. Come on, you see the shades.
Sometimes when I look at you, I don't even know what to say. You think you're in Futurama?
I'm chilling like I'm in Futurama right now, man. Laid back, just regular, smuggler, do my own vibe. Yes, sir.
You're like one of those girls that had OnlyFans.
Well, pass me $5 and I'll send you something.
No words. I'm having a good day. I hope everyone have a good day. Everyone will have a good day. Only 5 games last night, but much to discuss in terms of basketball and on those games. So we're just gonna go right into it as of now. First off, we'll start off with the last game of the night, which was the Chicago Bulls and the Portland Trail Blazers. And this was a good game. Portland looked like they had the basically the lead and the win. Then the Bulls came back and then took the lead in the third, and then it was back for fair in the fourth. And then the Bulls was able to close it out late in the fourth and win the game. Matter of fact, they've been winning, capping off this as they won the 4 games out of the last 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, having a 500 record. So shocking upset for the Bulls against the Blazers. So let me get your thoughts, Michael J.
Oh, thank you, sir. Well, let's be honest. The Blazers, again, just like what you said, the Blazers looked like this was their game for the taking. You know what I mean? They came out fire. The offensive display that they put on in the first quarter was amazing. 8 threes in the first quarter. And they just had it going in, but yet it got to a point where when you get hot, at some point, they got to eventually get cold, right? And that's what happened. The Blazers just couldn't make shots in that second quarter, and the Bulls could. Not Zach LaVine's best game, but he was coming up big down the stretch. Kobe White was balling, like this whole team, and then the Bulls just disciplined themselves to going into that second half, locked down defensively, hustled. And don't get me wrong, Carmelo Anthony was hustling, but not that whole Blazers team. They weren't really doing much of that. And then next thing, Zach LaVine makes a big shot, then Dame makes a big shot, and then it just went the Bulls' way from that point on.
Yeah, Melo tried to hit a tough turnaround 3 contested, and he had missed, but that was just great defense by the Bulls all around because they were switching every time because they tried to get Dame the ball. They couldn't get Dame the ball because they were just switching, and so someone was always on. Melo was the only option. That was a tough fadeaway turnaround, jumper in someone's face, and he ended up missing, and the Bulls ended up winning. Yeah. But I just want to talk about the Bulls' team play because this was really a team win. Not really to one player or 2 players, but everybody showed up. Everybody showed up today. Kobe White, as you said, had a big game. Zach LaVine hit that dagger 3 in the fourth. Otto Porter Jr. He was playing well, and he was big time on the glass.
Yeah.
Wendell Carter Jr. Like these, just everybody had it. Everybody was hustling. Everybody was balling. Everybody had energy, and they really fought hard to get back into the game, retake the lead, and they kept every time the Blazers had something for them, they had something for the Blazers.
Yeah,
and I feel like that was their key to winning this game. Just a great team effort, and this was shocking to me. Not only that, but that the Bulls have been playing well as of lately.
Look, New Year, new them.
You gonna say New Year, new for everybody?
I guess I am.
I guess New Year, new them for the Bulls. Yeah. As for the Blazers, I mean, there's nothing really to say. You just got, I guess, caught lacking.
Well, the defense wasn't really that strong. Don't get me wrong; they picked it up a little bit, but their defense, again, the only person who I felt like I saw hustling out there was Melo, But outside of that, their defense wasn't really that well. And mind you, they improved in defense so far this season. And
Mhm.
yet it just they did not play well against the Bulls defensively, and also they just went cold. Like they was started off hot and just went cold like a cold cut, like on a sandwich. Like they like a war like a hot sandwich turned warm and then just turned cold out of nowhere after a while of sitting out.
Let's just end it there. You you basically sent it off beautifully. Big win for the Bulls as they are now at 500, and let's see if they can keep this momentum going.
Mhm.
All right, now we go to the first game that we was covering, which was the Lakers against the undermanned Grizzlies team. However, they were not playing like that as they came to play. They was playing hard, they was playing with energy, and they was able to stay in the game throughout the entirety of it. But the Grizzlies don't have LeBron. Grizzlies don't have AD, and they don't have a defending champion roster. And
Exactly.
that was the reason why the Lakers were able to hold on with sloppy play in the final, like 10, 20 seconds of the game. But nonetheless, they was able to hold on and
Yeah.
win 94-92. Let me get your thoughts on this game, John.
Well, everything that you just said about the Grizzlies is real. Again, you don't have your star players, but yet those guys who people under like look at as underdogs, they want to play with that energy, that intensity, like as if they feel like they're still going to win regardless of who's out or who their better player is. Like that's not playing on the floor right now. They came in
Mm-hmm.
hustling with energy, everything. Anthony Melton or whatever his name is, he had a really big game. He was balling out. Like this whole team was just playing defensively, sharing the ball, trying to work on the inside and get their shots. And they kept up with they
D.
kept
Anthony Melton. I was wondering who.
sorry,
D.
D Anthony.
Anthony
I
Melton.
know. Sorry, I just knew his last name was Melton. That's all I know. They were doing everything in their willpower to keep up with this fully charged Lakers team. And let's be honest, the Lakers team, they were playing lackadaisical in a way in the beginning. They were really playing
Yes.
lackadaisical. They felt like this was like going to be like a coastal kind of win. They came and felt like it was a scrimmage game, and yet the Grizzlies have to prove that they are on the rise. But then again, they're the Lakers, and just like what I told you before, a true king never crowns himself. He never crowns himself, and Braun and AD and the whole Lakers team came up big. But then at the end, it looked like they was about to bait. They looked like they was
I don't know what happened. AD turned the ball over. They got it. Dylan Brooks got fouled, hit a free throw. LeBron turned the ball over.
somebody got a free layup.
Yeah, and then at the end of the game, LeBron turned the ball over again, and it looked like kind of that. I forgot who was it that was
Um,
complaining for a foul.
Melton. I think it was
Yeah,
all for Melton.
he looked
Yeah,
like playing for a foul. I don't know about that. That's a kind of a bang bang call or whatever, or that's a good no call. I wouldn't have called that in that situation.
exactly.
Uh, but nonetheless, they did hold on to win,
Yeah, they did
despite
hold
that
on to
sloppy play
it.
at the end.
They looked like they was about to bait, but they held on to him. But my son, bro, it was like this though. My son was like, little. You're too little. You gotta calm down with that.
Yeah, LeBron started cooking late in that fourth quarter. He really helped them win this game with those that turnaround jumper that he had. Jeez, on Dylan Brooks.
Yeah, yeah, it's like a regular version of Kobe. Regular version of Kobe. That's why.
Regular version of Kobe. Yeah,
Fuck
it's
it,
not
fuck
as smooth as Kobe's.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck it, rugged. It's rugged.
And then he had a big block on the next possession defensively.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, and like I said, LeBron throughout this whole season, he's been chilling, laid back. Again, another quiet 26, 25 for him. You know, this is just light work for him. He's that fourth quarter. He felt like that's the LeBron that we
Mhm.
seen from last year. But throughout the whole season, it's been like a little quiet. He's been doing more passing,
Yeah.
taking easy shots, getting those easy shots.
But that's the thing. You coasting like that and you being like a daisical, you're playing against a team that has a chip on their shoulder. You can't always do that. But yeah, I can understand it's Braun. He has nothing to prove. I'm just saying that you're a championship team and everything, but you can't do that against a team that want to prove something to the world.
Well, yeah, that's why he had to step it up in the fourth quarter, and that's what he did.
Yeah, that's what he
And
said.
that's what the Lakers did, and that's what AD did.
Yeah, you know, he was saying this. He said, "We about to lose to a Grizzlies team with no John Morant. That ain't happening." They said, "A true king never crowns himself." That's all I gotta say.
Giannis is living rent free in your head. He didn't even play last night, and you still find a way to talk about him.
Look.
The hate for him is real. This is almost like LeBron level with haters hate.
Look.
Ridiculous.
Look at this is the crown. And this is me putting it on Braun right now. And this is the crown, and I'm taking it off for Giannis. Thank you. That's all I gotta say.
You have become what you've hated in being like those LeBron haters that just hate him unrealistically. That's what you are in terms of Giannis.
Just let
Ain't
me
on the young man's game. This was around the time that LeBron started getting that hate too. All at 25, 26 too. So look at you now. You like,
bro, stop. Yo, I'm not no
you've been hanging around on Instagram way too much. You getting other people's ideas. Now you just hating on them just like a casual. You can't understand his greatness. And I don't expect someone like you to understand, But at least respect it, You can at least respect it.
I do respect
and we shouldn't even be talking about Giannis. He didn't play.
But I never brought up his name. I just said True King never counts.
Oh, see, now you're trying to set me up. Now you're trying to set me up. No, don't do that. Don't do that. You are implying heavily. Okay, for the audience, I didn't know this. Off the air, off of our recording, because I don't believe you said this on our podcast, on our podcast episodes. He was explaining to me how you see in pull-up footage that when LeBron Kuzma had put the crown on him last year after the big win against the Clippers, and then Giannis put the crown on his own head, and he said, "A king never crowns himself." Just out of the blue, out of nowhere. I don't know why. Actually, no, I do know why. Because he has a strong hate for Giannis.
No.
Then why?
Because LeBron is in his name, King James. It's his nickname, King James. And and he never gave it to himself. People crowned him as that. That's it. Giannis could be a prince though, if he want to. If he want to be a prince, he could be like the Fresh Prince of Greece.
But see, let me tell you the differences. Because everybody was expecting LeBron. So that king crown was already tailor-made for him. Giannis had to fight and claw and scratch for everything that he has. So that's why when he takes it, that's just the representation of his entire career.
He was still not touched bronze, so he could be the prince of Milwaukee. He could be the prince of the state of Wisconsin. It's cool, but
you have a strong, unrealistic hate for that man, and it's ridiculous.
Look, I'll stop hating when he wins a chip. That's it.
So basically, another casual thing. When you don't win a chip, you're basically you're to be tossed aside, to be thrown away.
He's already Hall of Fame bound, in my opinion, this early. He already is. He doesn't need to win no chip to prove anything in terms of that.
No, to you he does, because clearly.
But if he wants to crown himself as a king, he got to win that chip. He got to win that chip. That's it. A true king never crowns himself. Good night.
That was only for one. That was one. You belong in the media because you take one little thing and you just expand it. He did that once for like 5 seconds, and then that was it. A season ago.
That's what he did. That's what I'm doing. This. Wow.
Don't say anything about the casuals. When the casuals hate on Kyrie and Durant again, don't say anything, because I'm gonna throw you in there with them.
You can't do that.
That I am, because that's how you acting. That's how you are. But it's okay. Listen, Giannis, I support you. You have your old supporters. Don't listen to the hate. Actually, no, listen to the hate, because that fuels you.
Braun, I would never
have that mentality.
Disrespect your crown. Braun, I would never make anybody disrespect your crown.
That wasn't even. I think that wasn't even a thing to Braun. That was just him feeling himself that day. You know what? Giannis didn't play last night. We shouldn't be talking about him. I feel like we're on ESPN. So that's it. That's enough of the Giannis talk for today, at least. And let's move on back to the Grizzlies and Lakers game real quickly. To end it off, I love that the Grizzlies, even though they're undermanned, even though they haven't been playing with Ja, they still have that grit grind, that Memphis style of play that they had for the past decade, playing with these young this young talents, this young roster, this young core. They play hard, they play with hustle, they play with energy, almost like that Bulls team that we watched later on that we just talked about.
Yeah.
And I just love to see that they competed against the defending champions. They didn't give up and they kept working. And even though they lost, I feel like this is a good sign for that roster. All right. Is there any player performances, anything that you noticed, anything that you want to talk about?
Speaking of Kyrie, the Nets went crazy on the Jazz. Oh man, it was just an offensive display from almost everyone. And the energy picked up so well that it was also on a defensive end. Like, Kyrie doing what Kyrie does on all three levels of the floor, just cooking and creating, scoring, attacking the basket, hitting threes, getting to the mid range, pull up, passing the ball so well. Karis LeVert had a better game than he did the last time, just scoring. Jarrett Allen attacking the basket, being that defensive force in the paint. Like, everyone had it going on this team. Don't get me wrong, the Jazz looked like they had an opportunity, but also at the same time, you could just see how the Nets was making sure that was not going to happen.
So apparently Shaq was right about what he said about Rudy Gobert. Because wow, this was he got just like Jarrett Allen. I really Jarrett Allen, and Jarrett Allen is not a bum, and he's a starting big man in the league, and he's a really good player. But when you're getting paid $200 million, this shouldn't even be a question. This was bad. This was bad for Rudy. This was bad. I mean, I've seen him have good performances against Jokic, but he can't. Apparently, Jarrett Allen is kryptonite. I don't know. Maybe it's the big afro. When he gets near it, he kind of freezes up.
Don't do that.
Because Jarrett Allen blocked him 3 times.
He did what Braun did.
Oh, this was embarrassing. This was embarrassing. Not just for Rudy, but just for the Jazz. I did not expect this. Almost like the Kings-Warriors game. But unlike that, the Warriors is coming off a big game.
Yeah.
With Curry dropping 62. The Nets just lost. And they don't have their best player. So that's what I picked the Jazz. So I thought, they don't have Kevin Durant. They just came off a big loss. Oh, the Jazz, they can win this game. Not only did they lose, but in this fashion.
Look, man, the Nets just had it going on. And this is the thing. This is the offensive threat we've been talking about with them. They're so just deadly offensively. It gets kind of scary, especially if mind you, and we know Utah to be a good two-way team on both ends. And for the fact that this team couldn't handle the Nets defensively, I don't even know how to finish that sentence.
Hey, talk about your guy. Talk about your guy. You was watching for him, and he showed up.
Yeah, again, Kyrie.
No, I'm not talking about Kyrie.
Who?
Kyrie, you don't have to watch Kyrie. He's still gonna show up. I'm talking about Karis LeVert.
Oh yeah, hell yeah! Again, my son is doing what we know he could do.
He came off a bad game, and he showed up. He showed up last night.
Again, and I told you, the Nets have a high chance, just like how with KD and Kyrie playing. The Nets have a high chance when he plays well. The chances increase all the time. It's like if Kyrie and KD makes it a high likely chance that they win a game, if Karis LeVert is playing well alongside them, it's like a guarantee. It's like a guarantee win all the time. It doesn't always go like that, of course, but most of the time it will go like that. So, I'm happy for Karis. He bounced back big time on this.
Yeah, that was a good, astonishing win by the Nets, and a poor loss by the Jazz. Some other things that happened Yesterday, see, the Clippers in the Spurs game.
Mhm.
Paul George didn't play last night. And the Spurs was able to win. They were able to win despite DeMar's poor performance. And Aldridge returned, and he wasn't that big of a factor.
Yeah.
Well, Patty Mills was the story. He had 8 threes, 27 points. He was cooking against the Clippers. And even without Paul George, I thought the Clippers were still win this game. But
because Kawhi Leonard was balling.
Yeah.
Kawhi Leonard was balling, but yet
and until I guess that mask got in the way of him making that 3 at the end of the game. But
Hannibal Leonard comes up short. But yeah, again, I never lose faith in DeMar DeRozan. I feel like he's gonna come back better.
Well, every player has that bad game, so I'm not even focused on that.
Yeah, LaMarcus Aldridge, he's just coming back. Like, But you got to get it to flow. Sometimes there's certain players that need to get off rust. But let's be honest, the Spurs team, even though that their record is now 3-5, even though that their record is still like and it look like of a losing thing, they're still playing really good basketball. They've been playing good basketball to start off the season.
Who's their coach?
Greg Popovich.
And that's all you need to say. So of course they will forever be playing good basketball because their coach is Greg Popovich. That's just why I will always give the chance of the Spurs, no matter who they have, to make the playoffs. You know why? Because their coach is Greg Popovich.
And he knows how to work with young players. He knows how to work with any kind of player. Let's just be honest. Because I was going to say that the young guys are gelling. The young guys are really getting into themselves, getting really well. Keldon Johnson, Devin Hassel, Lonnie Walker. They're all finding their
DeJounte Murray.
Sorry, I forgot about him. They're all getting into their own kind of fit with this kind of team because of the culture.
Yep. I agree with you 100%. All right, so now it's prediction times. We need to do as usual, so let's go into it. All right. For tonight's games, start off with Rockets or the Pacers?
Rockets
as well. The Cavs or the Magic? A rematch from game 2 nights ago.
Cavs gonna come back.
You think Cavs gonna come back?
Yeah, they don't got no. Magic don't got no shot.
All right, and the Cavs don't have Mark Price or Brad Duntley or LeBron. So I don't. But I agree with you. I think the Cavs are going to bounce back as well. A big game for both teams: the Sixers or the Wizards.
The Sixers, because they've been playing really well.
So as the Wizards, they won 2 straight.
Look, I know it's a new year, new them, but not this game.
Yeah, I agree. I got the Sixers. Well, I said big game, but it's more of a big game for the Wizards actually.
Yeah,
because this was an opening night loss to them, and the Sixers have been playing well, as you said, and this win can help them, further cement of who they are and their what you call it, their identity.
Their new identity.
Yeah. Hornets or the Hawks? Hawks. And our first primetime game that we'll be going over is a rematch of last year's Eastern Conference Finals, which is the Boston Celtics up against the Miami Heat. So who do you have, Ja?
I got the Heat because they have most of their players from last year. Meanwhile, the Celtics are still, even though they're doing real well, they still have guys.
You're right. But I have the Celtics just because Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum has been on a tear.
Yeah. I won't go against you with that one.
All right. Coming off of that horrible performance last night, the Jazz remain in New York, going up against the red hot New York Knicks. So who you got?
I might throw bad luck through here, but I got the Knicks.
I might double down on that bad luck because I might have the Knicks too. And see, since they're the Knicks, now that you believe in them, that's when they let you down.
Exactly. That's all I want to say. They may end up losing this game. I'm not gonna lie.
But they've been playing well, so that's why we both got the Knicks.
Thank you, Tid.
The Pistons or the Bucks? You go with the Pistons because you hate Giannis, right? So pick the Pistons. Pick the Pistons.
No, I'm gonna
Detroit
I'm gonna
basketball, right?
look. I'm gonna choose the man that decides to crown himself.
Yo, man, I got Giannis. I'm not. I'm sorry, Giannis, not the Bucks. I got the Bucks.
I got the man who crowns himself in the Bucks.
The Thunder or the Pelicans?
Palace.
I got upset. I got Thunder.
Mm.
The once defending champion Raptors against the Suns.
Suns. Come on now.
I got the Suns as well. Yeah, the Raptors haven't been playing that great. The last game or the second game, prime time, that we'll be talking about, which is a battle up in California. The Los Angeles Clippers, I don't know if Paul George is playing or not, against, as of right now, as we're recording this pod, against the hot Golden State Warriors. So who do you have?
It's been a good ride for the Warriors and the Clippers.
Yeah, the Clippers. I have faith in the Warriors. I got the Warriors. I think they've been playing really well, and I think defensively they've been playing even better.
Yeah.
And lastly, the winning 4 out of the last 5 games, Chicago Bulls up against the Sacramento Kings.
Sacramento need to bounce back. I want to pick Sacramento. They need to bounce back.
They do need to bounce back, but nah, I got Sacramento. I was thinking about the Bulls, but I got Sacramento. All right. I think it's time to wrap things up now. Any final thoughts, Ja?
No, just a true man that who crowns himself.
All right. And if Giannis will be watching this, he will be telling you to take off the damn glasses. Because you look like a clown. You look nothing like a king. Like he is.
Oh, man, let me put it back on.
You remind me of one of my little cousins.
What? I see you.
And with that, thank you guys for watching today's spot. Make sure you tune into tomorrow's podcast. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And once again, I'm Evan.
And I'm Ja.
And this was the Mind of Basketball Podcast.